With this video, I want to start off by stating the fact that I am an avid anime watcher. I'm not at the cosplay and secretly wish I could wife a made-up character level, but I do enjoy some Japanese animation. Most of the animes I've seen have been in high quality. Mob Psycho 100, Castlevania, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, and even Violet Evergarden. I've enjoyed all of these, but there was always one anime that I was warned about. An anime that all of my weeb friends said is the worst anime ever. That anime is Sword Art Online. And for a long time, I decided to take their advice and avoid Sword Art Online at all costs. But one day I woke up and I wanted to develop my own opinion. I wanted to truly find out for myself if Sword Art Online was really as bad as everyone said it is. And after getting through half of the second season, I can confidently say,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I at least hoped it would be a funny bad, but it's not. It's just boring. And so I wanted to make a video today talking about why I have officially decided that I am not finishing Sword Art Online, at least for the time being. So first, let's talk about the main character, the one everyone loves, Kirito. Kirito is what I imagine someone who doesn't watch anime thinks that every anime protagonist is like. He's the Chad twink boy that all of the girls fall in love with and is so badass in every way possible. I can just sit here and imagine all of the people out there who hate their actual lives and just wish that they could be like Kirito in Sword Art Online. And you know, I understand to an extent because life can be hard sometimes, and there are some times where I wish that I could go into a virtual world and get to level 99 in Kamoshida's palace. There are many things that I hate about Kirito's character, but the thing that I hate the most is that they try to establish him as the lone wolf. For example, the scene where he self-proclaims himself as a beta tester cheater, aka a beater, really encapsulates how annoying he is. I'll give him credit, he does get a little bit better and more caring after later episodes, but at the start I was like, oh my god, I hope he isn't like this for the entire series. But speaking on that, let's move on to the Moonlit Black Cats. This episode has to be one of my most hated episodes in the entire series, besides the literal grape scenes and assault scenes that the writers and animators are so obsessed with in the show. 3 episodes in, before I even have the chance to get to know who Kirito is as a character, he's thrust into a guild. And you know what? It's fine. It's cool. I was like, we get to see how he interacts with people and see if he cares for anybody other than himself because he hasn't proven anything else yet. And then blah blah blah, the group's mingling or whatever, no one cares. But then Sashi runs away, and Kirito had the whole emotional moment with her under the bridge, basically telling her how they're gonna run away and that he would make sure that she wouldn't die. And I was like, there's no way they're gonna die in the same episode, right? How naive of me to assume that the writers think for 2 seconds before writing the dialogue, because in the same episode, the Moonlit Cats all die, in quite possibly the stupidest way I have ever seen. I didn't feel any sadness or anything, because I didn't know who any of these people are, and now they're just dead. And they try to make it this whole emotional scene and stuff, and it's like, why am I supposed to care about characters that I literally just met? Like, you can't just throw in a death scene and expect me to be all emotional. I have to know who these people are, because they could be terrible people. Anyways, let's move on to Kirito and Asuna. You could easily tell from their interactions earlier in the show that they were going to be in a relationship. The writers kind of write with on-the-nose writing and make everything so obvious, which also makes the show boring because everything is so predictable. Now, with all that being said, some people may disagree, but the episodes with Kirito and Asuna living together were the best episodes in the series by far. Even though I think it's weird that they're both underage and they're getting married, it was still awesome to see Kirito care for someone other than himself and for Asuna to make him be a better person. I actually saw something that I never thought that I would see in this show: character growth. They even wanted to be parents, which was so admirable to see that even in the virtual world, they still had real life aspirations and were transferring that into their essentially new lives. It honestly was really cool to see Kirito, Asuna, and Yui all living together in harmony. But then, for some reason, the writers decided to throw in that she's a computer AI, and I instantly snapped back to reality and realized that this show is fucking garbage. Also, side rant. When I first started watching this show, I thought that the whole season would be dedicated to them going up the floors and progressing and stuff. But they just jump an average of like 20 floors per episode in the first few episodes of the season. Like, Kirito has lived so much life that we don't even get to see. At first, I was like, you know what? Higher level bosses are harder, and that could bring in more conflict, so I started to understand that. But then I realized, no, they could have used the lower floors to, I don't know, develop Kirito's character, show how people live traditional lives in SAO, or even give the viewer some sense of progression other than just showing that Kirito is constantly overpowered and just destroys everything in his path. But whatever, I'm not a writer for a multi-million-dollar franchise, so I should shut my mouth. Then we get to the end of the first arc, where Kirito and Asuna and the White Knight Guild are fighting the high-level Reaper boss. But big anime reveal moment, Akihiko Kayaba is revealed to be the leader of the White Knights. Oh man. So then they get into the fight, and just as Kirito is about to lose, I literally see it coming. I'm like, Asuna's gonna sacrifice herself. And then what does she do? She allows herself to get stabbed for some guy. Whatever. Couldn't be my daughter. I'm telling you guys, you can tell from the tone of my voice that I never saw that happening, and I can't believe that she would do something like that. And then Kirito finds the willpower to finally put down Akihiko Kayaba and save Sword Art Online. And I'm sitting there thinking, bro, there's like at least 15 more episodes left. What more story is there to tell? And we get the cliffhanger of Kirito waking up in the real world. And so, you know what? I was like, let's see where this goes. Kirito finds Asuna and starts sniffing her or doing whatever he does in the hospital, and then figures out that her father is some rich capitalist who is setting his daughter up with some creepy dude. What? Why? What father would... his daughter is underage. I swear, the writers of this show don't know how to create any conflict other than making some creepy old dude or making the characters have to get some mystical item that will solve all of their problems. And this eventually leads us to the fairy arc, which I was already mentally checked out, but I was still hanging on by a thread. I tried. I really did, because I thought that I could power my way through finishing this show. But you know what the last straw was? Literal incest. I cannot believe that they got away with this. Oh wait, yeah I can, because anime loves to sexualize everything that doesn't need to be. Why does Kirito's cousin have to fall in love with him? Why? What in the name of Sweet Home Alabama is going on here? Not only is this writing choice just absolutely terrible and shows a complete lack of brain activity, it is so unnecessary. Anime is never going to beat the creep allegations when stuff like this continues to make it into mainstream media. I was already bored, but I knew that once the unneeded incest was thrown in there, I threw in the towel. I think I stopped at around episode like 17, I don't know, I'm not going to look, because I can't take it anymore. If you like Sword Art Online, I'm not going to judge you. You can like whatever you want. Unless you defend the constant assault on women and sexualization of underage people in this show, then we'll have a problem. I'm sure there's probably one, maybe two good episodes in the later seasons, but I'm not going to sit through many hours of boredom just to see 20 minutes of some good content. My friend who's really into anime told me that they're basically retelling the original story in the new movies, and my only thought is that they at least don't have a high bar to fill to be better than the original. I'm done talking about this show, I'm done thinking about this show, and now I'm going to go watch grown men wear lipstick in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.